The Coin Lady channel is pleased to have you back. Claiming to be working behind the scenes with attorney John DT, Steven Nerioff is preparing a lawsuit against the Ethereum Foundation. Everything we've been discussing for years is related to this, and we were completely correct about all this ETH stuff. Charles Hoskinson, it's not a huge conspiracy of any kind. Coordination between the SEC and those concerned with health is a genuine phenomenon, as is evident from the available information. However, as you might have heard by now, it turns out that's not all. There are claims and proof that point to Vitalik Buterin, one of Ethereum's creators, going far beyond than that. There was an assault or hack that Joseph Lubin was involved in as well. That has probably been in the news, but if you're not up to date, I'll fill you in this video. However, this has led to the speculation that attorney John Deaton will be involved in a Steven Nerioff litigation. You can tell it's just plain vengeance by the way Steven talks about it, and to be honest, it's likely well-deserved. Just so we're clear, I don't come from a financial family or anything. No, I am not a financial advisor. You should also refrain from making any financial transactions based on my recommendations. As a pastime and for pleasure, I love producing films on YouTube regarding crypto-related subjects. I'm simply an enthusiast. Now I'm going to walk you through 2 articles that cover the same ground. Starting with this one from 5 days ago, the Ethereum Foundation is being investigated by the law for its possible role in the Gate currency hack. This one is from today as well. The insider reveals that the fraud litigation against the ETH Foundation is making progress. At this point, I'll presume you're aware with Steven Nari and his background as he shared the first piece. If it doesn't, you won't be disappointed with the video. Keep in mind that he was the object of a lawsuit that ultimately led to his drafting. At the time, he was considering spending decades in prison for an offense that he couldn't recall. If you're interested in learning more about the whole thing, you can easily find it online. However, I've covered it in previous videos on the channel, so I'm going to assume that you're already familiar with it. If not, don't worry, the video will still make sense without that background information. However, Stephen Airy, who was out this afternoon, thanked a dull sleuth known as Truth Labs in the following way. Anyone you hear talking about Boring Sleuth or Truth Labs in this video is indeed the same individual. Here at Boring Sleuth's Rebel, we appreciate it. Apologies, but the link between Vitalik Lubin, the Ethereum Foundation, and the 2016 Gate currency breach has grown much more than merely problematic due to at Boring Sleuth disclosures. It's a crucial piece of evidence that has prompted a separate court inquiry into the ETH Gate. An important milestone on the road to revealing the full story has been reached. What happens next once the truth comes to light should occupy my whole attention. Indeed, we are accurate, as we have heard from many in the XRP community before. This is not some grand plot. The events surrounding Eastgate are based on actual events. The initial section is shown here. Claims that the Ethereum Foundation was involved in the 2016 Gate coin hack have prompted heated debate and are now the subject of an independent legal investigation. The revolution will soon be underway, according to Truth Labs at Boring Sleuth on X, a platform that was formerly known as Twitter. In light of last week's post, Church Labs announced the launch of an independent investigation into the Ethereum Foundation's involvement in the Gate coin hack. This is distinct from any investigations that Steven Nerioff may be conducting with attorney John Deaton regarding the 8th Foundation, which I will address in the video at a later point. These tasks just need to be done in a specific order. The story goes on. This new information follows a string of posts by Truth Labs that implicated the foundation and its prominent members, including Vitalik Buterin and Joseph Lubin, in the $450 million ETH heist that occurred as a result of the Gatecoin scam. Here is a quote from what he said. No developer or crypto analytics firm has refuted my claims or even proposed a different explanation for what may have happened in the precise week since I shared irrefutable proof that Vitalik Buterin and Joseph Lubin, of the Ethereum Foundation, were directly involved in the Gatecoin exploit. Listen, I am not sure what you all think. However, in the event that someone were to approach me with what appears to be credible evidence and serious accusations, I would publicly deny the accusations and clarify that I was not responsible for any of the events in question. since it would be simple to resolve if you are not involved. However, when faced with severe accusations, you choose to remain silent despite evidence that strongly suggests your involvement. You must be aware of the appearance of that. Now listen, I'm not going to say that they were directly involved in this hack. That being said, I will state categorically that this is an awful appearance. In light of the overwhelming evidence, I can't help but wonder whether there's more to this. Plus, there was a breakdown in communication. Something doesn't seem right about that. Naturally, I get that there was a breakdown in communication, but that doesn't prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. No problem at all. However, when combined with the overwhelming facts, I simply must inform you that it is not aesthetically pleasing. Do you have any plans? If you truly believe these accusations, then put yourself in Joseph Lubin's or metallic shoes. I see what you're saying. It appears like there will be at least one more lawsuit piling on top of the one you already have. The whole thing is unfolding. Also, if you're obviously not participating in any way, shape, or form, you won't simply disappear. That ought to be simple, right? Well, there is a bit more to it than that, because those solutions won't solve the problem. This is simply going downhill from here. Surprisingly, the peace remains, and the Ethereum Foundation and leadership have yet to address the accusations. If you believe the on-chain sleuth, the rationale for this is quite clear. They have no choice but to disregard the facts rather than challenge them. Nearly 1 million impressions have been generated by the content online, because it is available to the public and all that. A quorum is required of the CFTC, DOJ, SEC, and Homeland Security. Indeed, this matter will persist. Holy cow, it's completely out of the question. A snowball has absolutely zero chance of succeeding. Particularly not in Stephen's presence. A raging inferno seemed to be burning within him. You see, I'm trying to convey the idea that he is unhappy. Are you aware of this? It keeps going. Another voice in favor of Truth Labs is Stephen Nari, alias ETH whistleblower, who was once an advisor to Ethereum. Claims involve a truth serum. In addition to their previous dogged attempts to discredit me, their response to that dull volley was to almost balance quote. Now that boring sleuth and I have made detailed claims with receipts of on-chain data, why haven't they spoken up? Because, you know, the standard piece of legal counsel for people who have committed serious crimes is to just keep quiet and say, yeah, and here's the thing. One of the things that stands out as suspicious is that prior to this, as I've already mentioned, Vitalik and the rest of them were publicly denouncing Stephen Nerio. Their spirits are up. Yet, when these accusations surface, it's as if everything vanishes. Well, they most certainly have, and to be honest, that's sound legal counsel. They should just be quiet. If they are indeed guilty of, that is likely sound legal counsel. The text Truth Labs asserts a direct relationship between the Ethereum Foundation and the large losses experienced during the Gatecoin breach by a detailed study of ETH wallet addresses and transaction logs, as reported by Bitcoinist. This incident, which took place from May 9 to May 12, 2016, came before the notorious DAO hack. At the time, Gatecoin reported a loss of 185,000 ETH, which is today worth more over $450 million. When it came to the financial concerns of the Ethereum Foundation during the Gatecoin and DAO breaches, as well as the purported participation of the Ethereum Foundation, Truth Labs, and websites. And therefore, guys, that is the prevailing belief. Suppose this is correct. If Vitalik Buterin and Joe Lubin were genuinely active in the group, if they broke the law, and if they stole everything, then this would make perfect sense. If that's the case, then Truth Labs is being suspected of putting out the hypothesis due to their organization's near bankruptcy, and if they failed to accomplish it, their whole existence would be terminated. Permit me to proceed. During the time of these hacks, the Foundation's internal financial forecast from September 2015, according to Truth Labs, indicated an imminent monetary shortage. The Ethereum Foundation was about to collapse, which is why they may have gone on a hacking binge. This takes us to the second story from the day. Ethereum Insider reveals progress on the fraud complaint against the Ethereum Foundation. An update on the lawsuit that Stephen Nari, an early advisor of Ethereum, has been planning against Vitalik Buterin, Joseph Lubin, and the Ethereum Foundation has been made public. The possible effects on the ETH ecosystem are drawing attention to the litigation that stems from accusations of corruption in fraudulent operations. As you can see on your screen, Nari EOS has been involved with Ethereum from the beginning, and his intimate knowledge gives his statements more credibility in answer to a community member's question on the lawsuit's development. Now I'll show you the precise question that was asked of him by jumping to the social media post. At this point, we presumably have attorney John Dean's involvement, and it's clear that John Dean has been coordinating with Stephen Area. A Stephen A. Area off video appeared on John Dayton's channel. If you remember back to that live feed, there were 93,000 viewers, a number I've never seen before in the crypto world, watching the stream in real time. Absolutely ridiculous, as I witnessed firsthand. That video is available for you to see again. And if you head on over to the chat room, you'll be able to see the hysteria of up to 93,000 people, roughly 78,000, 80,000, 085, and so on, for good cause. There has never been anything like the level of focus on this. Whether or not the hack is real, it proves, as I mentioned at the beginning of the film, that we were correct about these guys and what they were up to. Even though I don't have all the facts, I can state that they are in a very precarious position right now. However, we already have the results from the years of XRP community research and all the XRP-related Twitter detective work. It was obvious to us before that they were questionable characters. Regardless, someone by the name of Ed sent a letter to Stephen Nari on X. Stephen, I'm curious as to what's going on with you and John Deaton regarding the lawsuit you mentioned you were planning to sue the Ethereum Foundation. Stephen answered that we are indeed working on the matter. The scale is always expanding. Difficult and monstrous, it is. I dedicate myself to it daily. Plus, it's gotten a lot more interesting. I am the most impatient person alive. This is really frustrating and expensive for me. Still, it's an absolute must. I see. You can see that he is certain it will come forth and that he is collaborating with attorney John Deaton on the matter. For sure, that will be interesting. I'm only happy that individuals here are motivated to discover the truth. Because, as an XRP holder, I have personally witnessed the injustices committed and can attest to the fact that many individuals were complicit in the outcome. Having some negative feelings about it. Where do you stand? It doesn't really dampen my spirits. To be honest, I don't usually feel grouchy first thing in the morning, but it doesn't make it any better. Please share your thoughts with me. However, I'm pleased to see progress being made on this. Come on, let's not sugarcoat it. Financial advisors aren't my specialty. Do not let anything I say influence your purchasing or selling decisions. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye for now.